Welcome back to 688 The Bull Radio, Kansas Jayhawk Football Press Conference with the head coach, Slacker Gaming. We are entering the new year. Last year we didn't end the way we wanted to as a fan base. But Coach, you got to the national title game, but because of COVID shutdown, you were not able to play for the title. What is your feeling kind of around that, and do you think that's fair?
Well, I mean, in general, life isn't fair. I thought we were the best team that we could have been last year. I thought we were playing very, very well. I thought that the national title game was something that we could have won. We made it all that way and undefeated the whole season, and going into the end there at number one. Obviously, we're probably the first team in to win the national championship, but to not be able to get to play that, my heart mostly hurts for the guys that worked their butts off all year and just were not able to get that chance to show up and prove that they were one of the best in the nation this year.
So after last year not being able to actually play the game, it looks like this year we're going to start off with kind of just protocols and stuff like that, but it looks like this year will be played. So going into this year, how do you feel like your team is doing? Do you feel like you guys are as good as last year? Do you feel like you can win it all again this year?
Well, I felt like we're still super strong, and we're working hard in practices to set us up to win. Obviously, there's some guys that didn't come back, and there's some guys that I'm glad they got to go to the NFL and test the NFL waters, and I couldn't be happier for them right now. But I think we're still good this year. I think we're still a good team. I think the young guys that stepped up last year are ready for a bigger role this year. So I think we're going to be a really good team this year.
So with college football coming back, how is the team looking this year after the key departures of several of the big guys at quarterback? You're losing Reggie, you lost Deke at running back, a couple of corners, a couple other guys at wide receiver. How do you feel like the team is kind of different this year than it was last year?
Well, the biggest thing is that Reggie, Deke, and a few of those other guys moved on to pros, and Reggie and Deke both getting drafted in the first round is huge for our program. It's huge for our coaching staff. It's huge for the players here that worked with these guys and worked with them so closely and learned from them. That just sets our program up for years to come. And I mean, when the guys that are at quarterback right now are fighting for a spot, the reason they're fighting for that spot is because they're coming up from a guy that's now a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. And that, to learn the hard work that goes into that and learn from such a great player like Reggie, I mean, it couldn't be better for our program. It just keeps people pushing even further and stuff. As for this team this year, the guys that did decide to come back, there's a few guys that I definitely told to go to the NFL, and they wanted to stay. They wanted to win that national championship. So that's kind of going to be their thing for this year, is to try to win it all. They didn't get the chance last year, and so they definitely want to win it this year. But I feel like this team is special. I feel like every team I coach is special. I feel like we have some unfinished business to do. We have some unfinished business with this team, and even with the guys that moved on to the NFL and graduated. I mean, there's still a lot going on here in Kansas. So we got to get back at the hard work, the hard days in and out, and see if the hard work pays off on the field.
With Reggie Robinson leaving, what quarterback is set to take the ropes? I know you said that they're in a battle, but who looks like they're going to end up with that starting role, Coach?
Well, we have a few guys that are fighting for the position, and I think they can push each other. And like I said earlier, coming from behind Reggie and learning how he works and how, the hard work and the playbooks and everything, learning from Reggie has really set these two guys up in a good spot to lead this team. And who knows, we might go one, we might go two. Who knows what we do with the quarterback position? It's still kind of up for grabs. Both of them finding pretty well on it. We have a few walk-ons at quarterback as well, so they're kind of learning the in and outs of the quarterback position at a collegiate level. But they're growing and learning, and we don't know who the starting quarterback is going to be yet. But whoever it is, I hope that they're ready and prepared and ready to lead this team to victory.
With the new season starting soon, you play a few good non-conference opponents early. What set up strong opponents early after this long hiatus of football?
Well, the biggest reason is to see how we match up and how good we can be at certain points and what are kind of our weaknesses and our flaws. And when you play good teams like this that are well coached, they might not be as talented as you, or you might not be as talented as them, but you don't always figure out your flaws or how guys react under pressure until you play a team that's, a top 5 team, a top 10 team, a really good coach team that is going to give you all they got. And I just want to see early in the season those types of things. I want to um, see what we can learn from, and see what are strong things, see what we struggle with, all of that good stuff. And I feel like in order to do that, playing really good teams early on is the best way to do that. That way, we have kind of all season and into conference play, we have time to figure out what's going on and how we can fix it.
So, last question here is, how is recruiting going with all of the protocols that are currently in place with COVID and everything?
Well, recruiting it's fine. It's a little tougher to get around everyone now. Before, obviously, you travel here, you travel there, you meet with this group, you meet with this group. But with the protocols and everything, there's been a lot more FaceTime type of things where you go over the internet and talk to them, and we try to set up home visits when we can, but the NCAA is kind of tone that down, and you can only take so many this year. So we kind of had to figure out which recruits that we felt like we could really benefit from being in their home and meeting with their parents and seeing the type of men that they're going to be coming into college. But I feel like everyone's kind of on the same page with this recruiting and knowing and feeling the same way about the recruiting process in general. So we just try to make sure that we keep a safe distance, and do the best we can, because we don't want to, take this from one place to another. And so we have a great group of players that are on the Kansas board, and it's going to be a great time meeting with all these young men.
This is 688 The Bull, Kansas Jayhawk Football Radio, and we are ready for a brand new season of college football. And we wish Coach and we wish the Kansas Jayhawks the best of luck this year.